Once upon a time, there lived a curious 6-year-old girl named Vaishali. She loved watching cartoons on TV. She laughed at the silly characters and was mesmerized by the colorful worlds they lived in. One sunny evening, as Vaishali sat on the couch, her parents noticed how much time she spent in front of the screen. They were concerned. "Vaishali," her mother said gently, "you've been watching TV all evening. Why don't you go outside and play?" Vaishali looked up, her eyes still glued to the screen. "But Mom, I love my cartoons. They are so much fun." Her father chimed in. "My dear girl, there's a whole world out there waiting for you. You'll have just as much fun playing outside." Vaishali sighed, but she knew her parents meant well. She reluctantly turned off the TV and went outside. She looked around, not quite sure what to do. The world beyond the screen seemed big and unfamiliar. Her mother came out, held her hand and said, "Why don't you try a couple of new hobbies? Maybe these could help you make new friends. Might even open up a new world to you that you would enjoy." Vaishali nodded, and together they walked down the road where she started playing chess with some kids in the neighborhood. And Vaishali also learnt drawing from another lady around the corner. Very soon she became completely enamored by the black and white world of chess. She would play chess for hours on end. And all this while her young 3-year-old brother watched the game with rapt attention. Vaishali's mother realized that her son too had a knack for the game, and she thought she'd let him have a go at chess. Thus was born the journey of two of India's greatest chess grandmasters. The little boy is none other than Pragnananndha, an 18-year-old prodigy from India who's made it to the Chess World Cup final for the first time after Vishwanathan Anand.
Did you think cartoon TV could have had this kind of an effect?
No, but well, now that I know, I certainly think that I will watch cartoon and then I'll become good at chess.
Wonderful. I love the connection you made about how everybody who watches cartoons can emerge as a potentially great chess player. The current event in today's episode that we're going to be talking about is
that Pragnananndha was the first Indian after Vishwanathan Anand to reach the World Cup. But I think Vishwanathan Anand also won, right?
Yeah, he did win, although Pragnananndha lost this time to Magnus Carlsen. But I still think it's an amazing thing. For those of our listeners who are coming to this podcast channel for the first time, hi, this is Sangeeta, the host of this channel, What's New Today? And I'm joined in this episode by...
Hi, I'm Trai. I'm 12 years old and I live in India.
Thank you so much, Trai. Do you like chess?
Yeah, I love chess, especially watching chess serials. Also in chess.com you get a lot of news videos and stuff. And I watched a bullet match, which means it's a timed match of 2 minutes, between Magnus Carlsen and I forgot his name.
Okay.
And the other person won, which I can't believe because Magnus Carlsen is the world number 1. So I thought maybe in the pressure of time, Magnus Carlsen will lose.
This is really interesting that all you kids go online and look up chess news because India is a cricket crazy country.
Amongst the many lovely stories about Pragnananndha, or Prag as he's called by most, since his name is a bit of a tongue twister, here's one that I really enjoyed. Tell me how you like it.
So when he was playing in the World Cup this time, he was playing against another Indian player called Arjun Erigesi. This was, I think, in the quarterfinal. So Arjun and he had to play more than one round. So after he played the first round, he just wanted to go out for a walk to sort of clear his head before he could come back and play the next round. Who do you think went with him on that walk?
His sister Vaishali.
Yeah, even I would have thought he either went with his sister or his mom. But surprise, surprise, he went on the walk with Arjun Erigesi.
Why?
The way they see it is, they are opponents when they are playing that game. But when the game is done, they can both go out on a walk. They're good friends and they can talk about the trees and the city they are in and the views they have.
I didn't know they were good friends. Another question is that Arjun person a kid or an adult?
He's a little older than Pragnananndha, a few years older than
Like 21?
maybe.
Cool.
But what do you think?
I find the story very interesting. And he chose not to go with his sister or mom or dad or whatever, but his opponent, which in his case he considers as a friend.
It's really nice, right? That kind of friendship exists. In all the reading that you've done, or whatever it is news that you have read about Pragnananndha, is there any one thing that you found very interesting?
Pragnananndha does not play video games at all, and he doesn't have the time to either. Otherwise plays table tennis /eat/sleep.
Does he spend any time on social media?
No, he doesn't spend any time in social media, which is quite surprising because I've seen many of my classmates do that.
Wow!
Listening to podcasts like this is perhaps one of the nicer ways of spending time.
Yes!
Thank you. On that note, let's move on to the next interesting part of this episode.
Quiz time. Let's see how well you listen.
Question 1. So Pragnananndha's sister used to watch a lot of cartoon shows when she was a young child. So what did her mother do?
Her mother sent her to a chess and a drawing school and soon discovered that Vaishali and Pragnananndha were quite good at chess.
Question 2. Pragnananndha made it to the final of which event?
The Chess World Cup.
Last and the final question. Which two things does Pragnananndha not have any time to spend on?
Video games, social media.
Yippee! Okay, shall we leave our listeners with a riddle?
Okay.
Identify which chess piece I'm talking about. The first clue is this is the only chess piece that can skip over the other pieces. And the second clue is that it can move in the shape of an L. For those of our listeners who know the answer to this riddle, if you're listening to this on Spotify, scroll right down and you'll find the question there and you can leave your answer right there with the reply button. If you're listening to this on any other podcast platform, do email it to me at hello@wsnt.in. I love reading all the thoughts, comments, and questions from all the children and parents from around the world. If any of you children would like to join me on this podcast, just like Trai did right now, you can find a link to register and join us as a co-host in the show notes below. New episodes on What's New Today come out every Monday and Friday.
Thanks for listening.